Hello, welcome back. My name is Paul and this is Paul Vs the Paranormal, and tonight we're jumping back into some Japanese urban legends, and these 5 are the ones that you should never talk about. So in part 1 we explored some of Japan's most iconic urban legends, but those were just stories people admit to knowing. But today we're going deeper into the legends people warn you not to repeat. The ones said to bring misfortune simply by hearing them, or worse, speaking them aloud. Which, as I read this, I'm beginning to regret this. However, I do know a couple of these stories already anyway, so I feel okay. So tonight's stories include Hachishakusama, the 8-foot-tall woman, the woman in the gap, Tomino's hell, which is a cursed poem, the Kune Kune, and the mysterious disappearance linked to the no-face village. So settle in and remember, some stories just don't like to be told. Hachishakusama, the 8-foot-tall woman. Her name simply means that, 8 foot tall. She's a towering woman with long black hair, a white dress, and a wide, unnatural smile. You know she's near when you hear the sound. Po, po, po. Not quite a laugh, not quite a voice, something in between. Now it's said that she targets children and teenagers. Once she chooses you, she follows you, slowly, patiently, until she takes you away. Now the story usually begins the same way. A child hears a strange po, po, po sound. They look up and see a woman, far too tall to be human. Now families who believe their child had been marked will call a local monk. The child is locked in a room, surrounded by salt and protective charms. They must not look outside. They must not respond to any voice, even if it sounds like a parent's, because Hachishakusama can mimic anyone. There is a story about a young boy who allegedly saw the 8-foot-tall woman. He then had to spend the night locked in his bedroom. While he was in there, his grandparents called his name, but it wasn't his grandparents, allegedly. Part of the rules is he couldn't actually acknowledge any of those voices, so he stayed in the room until morning. And then family members drove him out of town. Now, he survived, and he was never able to return to Japan. Now, some people say that she still wanders rural Japan, looking for her next victim, the woman in the gap. Now, this legend plays on a simple fear, a dark space in your own home. The woman in the gap is said to live in the narrow spaces between furniture and walls, under your bed, behind your wardrobe, or in the sliver of darkness beneath a door. You drop something, you kneel down to pick it up, and in the darkness beneath your furniture, you see a face staring back, pale, expressionless, waiting. If you make eye contact, she whispers, "Do you want to play hide and seek?" If you say yes, she drags you into the gap. If you say no, guess what? She drags you in anyway. Now, this legend is popular among school children, but adults admit they avoid looking into dark spaces at nights, because once you see her, she never stops watching. Tomino's Hell, the cursed poem. This is one of Japan's most infamous cursed stories. Tomino's Hell is a poem written in the early 20th century. The legends say if you read it aloud, something terrible will happen to you. People report sudden illness, nightmares, hallucinations, or a feeling of being watched. Some claim the curse only activates if you read it with emotion. Others say reading it silently is safe, but reading it aloud invites Tomino's suffering into your life. The poem describes a child descending into a metaphorical hell. Some interpret it as grief, others as madness. But the modern legend grew online after people claimed to experience strange events after reading it. Many Japanese websites host the poem, but include warnings about reading it aloud. Even skeptics admit they avoid testing it, because some stories, they're just not meant to be spoken. Kune Kune. which is the white figure in the fields. So in rural Japan, rice fields stretch for miles. On hot summer days, heat shimmers above the crops. But sometimes, people see something else. A tall white figure standing in the distance, thin, featureless, swaying back and forth, as if dancing. This is the Kune Kune, or Kune Kune, I'm not sure. That's Kune, Kune. If you see it from afar, you're safe. Just walk away. But if you get closer, or try to see its face, you'll lose your mind. Some say you'll die instantly, others say you become like the Kune Kune, a mindless swaying figure trapped in the fields forever. Now farmers claim to see strange shapes in the heat haze. Some blame scarecrows, others blame hallucinations. But the legend persists because too many people swear they've seen something moving when nothing should be there. The No-Face Village. This legend is newer and far stranger. It tells of a remote village where the residents have no faces, just smooth skin where eyes, nose and mouth should be. A group of urban explorers claimed they found an unmarked village in the mountains. No signs, no roads, just a cluster of old houses. At first everything seemed abandoned. Then they saw movement. A person stepped out of the house, then another, and another. All of them faceless. The explorers ran, but only one made it back. Now he posted his story online, but the thread was deleted within hours. Now some say the village is a government secret. Others say it's a ghost town cursed by a forgotten ritual. And some believe the faceless people aren't human at all. Now Japan's urban legends endure because they tap into universal fears. Being watched, being followed, being lured, being taken, or being cursed by something you don't understand. Now these stories spread because they feel possible and they hide in quiet places, in the fields, the gaps, the mountains, the shadows, and whether you believe them or not, they stay with you. Now thank you for joining me for part 2 of our journey into Japan's darkest legends. If you've enjoyed this episode, follow for more and share it with someone else who loves a good scare, or just enjoys urban legends. We have one more set of Japanese urban legends to go for the next episode, but until then, keep your lights low and your eyes open. When you drop something on the floor, don't look under the couch.